Everyone. I'm Kathleen Leos, the CEO of the Global Institute for Language and Literacy Development. It's such an exciting time in education, and I'm here today working with Project L, the best data collection company in the United States, to bring to you information about the passage of the new education bill, Every Student Success Act, or ESSA. Um, I think everyone's excited about the passage of this new bill, and it was signed on December 10th, 2015, by President Obama. Congress really took its time to thoughtfully put a new education law in place that is going to impact all students in all schools. And I want to just take some time today to talk about only the highlights. First of all, I think it's important for everyone to understand that the new bill does not go into effect until 2017-2018. Remember, we have a year to plan, and that's the point. There is a transition period, and it's this next year, 2016-2017, when states, districts, and schools really have to thoughtfully consider the kind of education plan that they are going to develop and put in place that will align with the new requirements of ESSA. So I just wanted to cover 4 points for your consideration and 4 points to think about in this our brief discussion today. The first is, in this transition period, please know that all flexibility waivers that the U.S. Department of Education had passed and approved prior are now null and void. They no longer exist as the night that the president actually signed the bill itself. And does that mean that everything that you are allowed to do and what we're allowed to do in the past, and especially in terms of accountability, has gone away? And the answer is no. The U.S. Department of Ed has a wonderful Dear Colleague letter on its website that explains the details of what you are allowed to keep in place and what really does it mean when the flexibility waivers are now null and void. But I would like to spend time talking about ways of approaching the plans that you now have to develop to put in place for 2017-2018. And the first concept is that this bill requires all of us to really think about developing new systems. And these are design systems for education. Are they much different from No Child Left Behind and the bill that was passed in 2002? They are not substantially different, but the emphasis is different. First of all, the design that you will be thinking about is developing plans that will focus on schools. There'll be percentages of schools that must come under comprehensive reform. The first percentage is the lowest performing 5% of schools, called priority schools, that will receive a comprehensive, full, school-wide, district-wide effort. The second is 10% of the schools called target schools, who are not quite at the lowest performing schools, but they're on the brink to become the lowest performing schools. And a plan goes in place for each one of those schools that you will then implement, again, a comprehensive school-wide approach. We don't have to really start implementing the plan, but this is the year to start developing that plan. And what do you get to think about in the development of the plan? Well, for the first time, and this is really exciting news, Congress has really said you can be flexible about your funding. In other words, you'll be able to combine Title I, Title II, and Title III funds, as well as additional federal resources in other funding mechanisms, technology fund, discretionary grants, etc., in order to implement your school-wide approach. In the past, the funds were separate and often, quote, segregated into pockets. And when any district director wanted to think about, well, what am I going to do for students, say, as English learners, I can only use, say, Title III funds. That is no longer true. You'll be able to really look at combinations of funding sources in order to implement a school-wide plan, because it not only you're going to target the school, but you're going to target the at-risk students in those student subpops. The other thing about that's, I think, exciting, very exciting, when it comes to developing your plan, the law specifically states that you have to focus on data. And I know, especially the assessment people and the accountability people at the state and local district level are saying, but we've been doing that for quite some time. And that's true. But the emphasis on data that this law places, that ESSA places, is really on item level assessment data. And it's going to be used to inform instruction. Many districts may collect the data, but now it's not only collecting the data, gathering the data, but it's learning how to use that data to inform instruction. And that gets me to my last point today. GILD is expert in this area of teaching teachers how to gather that data, look at the data, analyze the data, and turn it into effective instructional strategies for ELs in classrooms. And the other exciting piece of our work is the fact that we have partnered with Project L. And if you know anything about the challenge that you have at school level and district level data collection for ELs, it is often a nightmare. And what Project L does, and it's the only company in the United States that can do this, is effectively and easily gather the data, automate it, digitize it in a specialized platform, and allow you to mix and match the data in a way that's effective not only for accountability, for compliance, and soon to be for effective for data analysis for classroom instruction. So if you need more information, more details on ESSA and the direction that we're all going to go together, please call either GILD, myself, Kathleen, or Project L, and we will fill you in on all the details. We sure hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to our next conversation on ESSA. Thank you.